order in the Discord chat. It's the end of 2022, and my oh my, what a year it has been for video games. Because guess what, everybody? It's the Shacknews Game of the Year Awards. That's right, we're back for the first time this year. Maybe, who knows what order these will go up in, and you're seeing this in. But hey, it's time. It's time to deliberate. It's time to talk about the games that we love and the games that maybe other people loved and we didn't like so much, but we're still going to give it the time of day. I'm Blake Morris, co-editor-in-chief at Shacknews.com, and I am joined by a cavalcade of incredibly talented Shack News staffers. I'm just going to start in the top left and work my way down to introduce everybody really quickly here. We've up in my top left corner, we've got the one and only DVT, host of the Steve Tendo Show. How you doing today?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
All right. Then we have Long Reads editor and soon to be the author of a new book all about Mortal Kombat. It's David L. Craddock.
Hey, what's going on?
All right. He went away and we all missed him, and now he's back and he brought his beard. It's Donovan Erskine. How you doing, buddy?
What's up? What's up?
All right. Always working hard in those video minds, head of video production here at Shack News, Greg Burkleton Burke.
Hey, howdy, hey.
All right. Senior news editor and fan of Final Fantasy, if his shirt is telling me anything. And the birthday boy, TJ Denzer.
Yo.
All right.
Which is funny because we don't know when this is going up, so it will not be his birthday by the time this goes up.
I mean, that could have just been what we called him. You could have, like, people could have been left to wonder, why did they call him the birthday boy?
It's just his nickname.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Birthday boy.
Next up, you know him, you love him, you can't get enough of him. It's Ozzy Mejia, senior editor at Shacknews.com.
Oh, snap. What's up, ball?
And then next up, Morgan Shaver, human of mystery, going around solving crimes, kicking ass and taking names all the time. How are you doing today?
Not bad, not bad.
All right. And then up in the cold, cold tundra of Canada, co-editor-in-chief Bill Lavoie.
How you doing?
All right. And then on the complete opposite spectrum, in the hot, hot summer of Australia right now, taking it old school on the mic, it's Sam Chandler.
G'day, Mike.
Good day.
Hey,
All right. All right. So, yeah, we're going to just go through a list of things that we have here. And yeah, that's really about it. We're gonna nominate some people, some games for some things, and then we're gonna talk about it. That's basically how this works. And today's category is best Xbox Series X game. We're gonna start right there. We have a number of nominees, and we will speak. If anyone's not around, we will nominate their nomination for them, and if they left any notes, we'll make sure to say something about it. All right, so yeah, why don't we just start off just the way I introduced everybody. Steve, who is your nomination? What is your nomination for best Xbox Series X game of 2022?
I didn't really have one. I was gonna say Grounded. That was probably the only one that I. Does that qualify?
Yes, we're gonna let Grounded qualify as your nomination, but you know, we'll probably just leave it there for you. Sounds like you don't have too much to say.
That's my nomination.
All right.
Well, it's interesting because there weren't a lot of Xbox exclusives this year, And right up until we started getting like the surprise announcements about Tunic coming to other platforms, I was going to go with Tunic, but now it's not so exclusive anymore. And probably the best Xbox exclusive out there right now for me is Grounded. And the work that Obsidian's put in over the past year, over the course of the early access period, and just the way that it all came together, I really just love it as a fun little co-op experience.
Yeah. Grounded is my nomination as well. I don't like survival games. I really don't. Never been into them. But Grounded it scratches an itch I didn't know was there, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You know, it's really just you're going on an adventure in a backyard. It's a little, I don't want to say it's more casual than other survival games, but I think that the environment and the story make it more approachable.
Does the
So-
co-op lend itself to that kind of more casual feeling? Because you can't. How hardcore of a survival game can you be when you're playing with 3 other people?
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely makes it more enjoyable. It takes away a lot of the tediousness of these sort of games, I feel.
Grounded feels very accessible as a survival game. Like if you look at a lot of survival games on the market and you're like, you know what, I don't know if that's for me. Grounded feels like maybe the bridge that could help get you there. You know, like a way to dip your toe in the water. And that's not to say that it doesn't have like an incredible amount of depth or it's not, complex or, high quality. It's just that it's looks approachable. It's kind of adorable in the art style and the idea of being in the backyard. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Like as someone who plays a lot of survival games, it really is the game that if I was like, hey, why don't you dip your toe into this survival game genre? I would start by recommending Grounded personally.
Yeah, I think it definitely benefits itself by that. It's not like, hey, so what world am I in? Who am I? What's going on? Like, what's this weird background? It's like you're a kid in a backyard and you're small. You know, for a lot of us, we grew up watching those Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies, and so there's that instant connection where you kind of understand immediately what's going on.
I think having the tether of a narrative that remains constant throughout the game also helps. Because there are a lot of survival games where I've bounced off of just because they're just like, go do whatever you feel like doing, which is fine to a certain extent. But then I just like do everything I wanted to do, and they're like, what do I do now? With Grounded, there's always an objective up in the left-hand corner, whether it's just like go find a certain part of the lab or go find some notes, or there's a robot that needs to be found. And I think having that main campaign objective helps to give you something to do even when you don't know what to do next.
We're going to talk about Grounded. I also just want to mention that, like, the big bads in that game are those massive spiders that they had to put an arachnophobia mode in because they're so damn terrifying. As much as I hate it, it's a very creative villain for a game like that.
I have not, as someone who hasn't switched on arachnophobia mode, what do they replace it with?
A giant, ominous, dark blob with red eyes.
No.
It's a slider. So like the more you slide it from the left to the right, left is full spider. As you move the slider to the right, it removes some of the legs, then it removes the segmented body parts, then it removes some of the eyes and then it removes the markings of the spider up until it's just a floating white ball with 2 red eyes on it.
That feels more terrifying, but all right.
I think
it looks like a wounded spider that's angry. I don't know.
It's supposed to like dial back on all the things like trigger arachnophobia, so like the legs and the pointed edges and stuff like that. Is what I think
It's
they're
interesting
trying to
from a
get at there.
psychological standpoint.
Yeah,
They actually worked with medical professionals to very carefully work around the triggers of the phobia.
I think they should incorporate a dynamic mode so that the slider constantly moves back and forth as you play. So you just see blobs turning into spiders and spiders turning into
Or
blobs. That'd be
take it
great.
one step further. Give me more legs, More
Yeah, give me
eyes.
more like
Oh,
just
boy.
the most terrifying arachnid type creature ever. Yeah.
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 56 legs.
And,
Why not?
no,
Why
Many
not?
legs.
and the voice of like your third grade teacher or something like that. Just really make it scary. Let's see. I'm curious. Do we have any other nominations besides Grounded?
Yes, I will throw a hat in the ring for Elden Ring. Um, I think Grounded looks fantastic, but I think Elden Ring is obviously it's not a console exclusive, but it is a technical showpiece for this current generation of consoles. And it's also, From Software has a legacy, particularly in the Souls series, of making great games, but not always great technical specs around them. Bloodborne is infamous for being beloved, but kind of shaky even at 30 FPS. Elden Ring on Series X and PS5 for that matter, but specific to Xbox Series X, just looks and runs and feels fantastic. It is a really optimal way to play that game.
So you're coming at it from like just optimum efficiency perspectives.
Yeah, I mean a lot of the actions for these games are really tied to things like frame rate. So if you have a smooth frame rate, I mean you're parrying easier, you're reading animation tells easier. It's one of these games where the better the performance, the more it kind of informs your tactics and actions in gameplay as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Elden Ring was really. I played it on Xbox Series X at launch, and I might be misremembering this. I think that was one of the better places to be playing it at that time, while some of the performance kinks were being worked out. I think my only issue with Elden Ring on Xbox, and I guess it's more of an Xbox issue, is that it uses the quick resume feature, where like if you're playing another game and you just click on Elden Ring, it drops you right back to where you were. But since the game is like always on, unless you play offline, but when you're online, it's always online. Every time I would quick resume in the Elden Ring, it would always kick me back to the main menu because it was like connection to internet lost. I don't know. It's this weird issue
Yeah,
with
because you
quick
can't
resume,
pause.
like I'm running into.
Yeah,
Well,
you're not wrong. Like all the Souls games do that on all platforms. Actually, it's because when it's sleeping, it does something to the internet connection where the games lose connection to the server. So that's like across the board for Elden Ring, and it is annoying, but actually
yeah,
because of the faster load times on Series X and PS5, you're only waiting a few seconds until you're right back
that's
in the
true.
action. So
Well, there you go. Sam, do you have anything to say about Elden Ring?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say with David on this one in terms of the best place to play Elden Ring. I mean, if you're not playing on PC, you're playing on an Xbox Series X. That's in my mind, and it's one of the best games that I did play on Xbox Series X. So everything about that game just blew me away.
I would actually say the Series X and PS5 versions have played better on PC, Sam, because I know that for a while the PC version was, I don't remember what the problem was. It took a while to get resolved though, but there was a lot of like stutter or something that was not
Yeah,
evident in the console versions.
yeah,
I started on
absolutely.
PC and left, and not to make it about that. Like I went to PS5, but yeah, I think that the next generation consoles, to your point, and the Xbox Series X obviously being included is a good. There was no features for PC. Like it was not a PC game, and it shouldn't have been marketed as like, "Hey, look at this neat PC game." So Xbox Series X, yeah, I could see why that would make sense. I mean, I didn't play it on that, but
Yeah, it was a little discouraging because other than the first Souls game on PC, Dark Souls being really just a straight copy and paste of console that modders had to fix. The other PC ports of this for this series have been pretty steady. Like I played Dark Souls 3 on PC at launch and it was great. This was just, I guess, an anomaly, and it took Bandai, it probably would have been the studio kind of getting From Software in shape to get it fixed. But um regardless, Series X and PS5 versions, I think there are better games technically on PS5, but for Series X, I had a friend who played this, and I got to check it out on his machine and play it, and that's where I'm coming from. It was just a great platform for this game.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, beyond Grounded, there really isn't too much exclusive for Xbox this year. So
We've
yeah,
been
if you're
saying that for
gonna
the last few years, right? Like Grounded is the besides blank, there's not too much exclusive for Xbox.
I
you know?
mean, this year we were expecting Starfield, and that didn't happen. So.
yeah,
Yeah, that was supposed to be their big thing.
can't nominate Crackdown 3. It's
Like it
not
is the
eligible
third one
this
of
year.
those. I would ask
It
that you
is the
keep
third
that in
one.
mind. Keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think it's time we put it to a vote. What do you all say?
Do it.
All right. Cool. So Steve, you are going in for Grounded.
Yes, I'm gonna go Grounded.
All right. David.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. 1 for Elden Ring. Donovan.
I'll go Grounded.
Grounded. All right. Greg.
Yeah, Grounded.
Grounded. All right. TJ. Grounded.
Rounded.
All right. Ozzy.
Grounded.
Let's see. It looks like Morgan had to step away for just a second. So Bill.
Grounded.
Grounded. All right. Sam, where are you going,
Put me
baby?
down from Elden Ring. Let's go.
Elden Ring. Just a token gesture.
Oh, come on.
Why
Why are you calling it that?
I mean, I
There's
feel
no
like
peer, there's
Elden
no
Ring
peer
is-
pressure in these things.
Why are you
I don't
swinging
think-
at me like that, man?
I don't think Elden Ring's gonna be token anything by the end of the year.
Oh, man.
You gotta
yeah.
punch down.
Damn. Kitty's got claws. Wow. Well, let's see. All right, and Morgan. Where's your vote going?
Yeah, Grounded, same.
And then we have to add in Asif's vote, who voted for Grounded, as well as Denny's vote for Grounded. That makes it 10-2. And an even larger landslide victory. Grounded is this year's Xbox Series X best game, 2022. Gavel.
Go home.